Kuwe Baba,
in the rural valleys of KwaZulu-Natal, an area which was first devastated by political violence, then poverty, and now finally the HIV epidemic. Families have been torn apart, but it's the children that are really concern us. It's the children who are suffering the most. There are more and more child-headed households. We called more and more into children where young ones, 9 years old, are trying to cope with a family of 3 or 4 on their own. No food, no support, trying to cope with their dying parents first, and then having to feed themselves, support themselves. In the next decade, we're going to see more and more young children forced into our cities. In South Africa, we've only got 8 major cities, and there's an estimated 2.5 million children. So 300,000 children in each city would be devastating.
KwaZulu-Natal is the rural homeland of the Zulu people. It is here that we find the Valley of 1,000 Hills, a picturesque setting that is also the area worst affected by HIV/AIDS in the world. Political violence, a declining economy and drought have added to the woes in recent years, and the addition of the HIV/AIDS pandemic is leaving families starving and dying, and children abandoned and alone.
These children didn't ask to be in the situation they are. There's nobody out there who cares. There's nobody out there who hears their cries. And they've got nobody to turn to. In 1993, after seeing children starving and dying, and realizing that an entire orphan generation could be lost unless we as a society responded, I started God's Golden Acre to try in some way to impact on this epidemic and to help as many of those vulnerable children as possible.
God's Golden Acre is based between Pietermaritzburg and Durban in the rural area of Cato Ridge, near the Valley of 1,000 Hills. Its primary objective is to support orphan children within their communities. This is achieved either by placing them within their extended family or by placing them in foster care within the community. The results of the cumulative efforts of all at God's Golden Acre are already evident. In 2 of the areas serviced by the organisation, all of the children are back in school. A soccer league has been established for boys and young men. Many children are achieving academically, and a group of singers and dancers have recently completed a successful tour of the United Kingdom. To address the broader needs of the children within the communities, God's Golden Acre has initiated a number of projects within its outreach program. Many of the mud-built houses are collapsing due to the absence of adults to carry out maintenance and the lack of money to make maintenance possible. This factor further compromises the safety and security of the young children and the old people caring for them. The Houses of Hope project was established to repair or rebuild these homes. This project is funded by donors and uses the skills of older orphans who have been trained as builders. This forms part of the self-sustainability approach of God's Golden Acre to empower people through skills development. The eco-gardening project aims to teach families to nurture and harvest fruit trees and vegetable gardens. This not only provides food, but the excess produce will become a source of income for the families. To ease the financial burden, God's Golden Acre has embarked on a child sponsorship program called Adopt a Child. People from all over the world can choose to adopt an individual child or a family. The caregivers or foster mothers take care of the day-to-day needs of the child, and the sponsors provide the financial assistance to make this possible.
I'd like to say to Oprah that thank you for everything she has done for us, and thank you for the birthday for God's Golden Acre.
This sponsorship not only benefits the child, but the community the child is from, and sponsors can send gifts to the children, and they are kept abreast of the child's progress on a biannual basis. Those who are victims of violence, who have been abused, who are disabled, vulnerable or at risk in their own communities are moved into one of the organization's residential care centers where they are cared for by foster mothers. 5 such community centers have been established. They are Kailihle in Cato Ridge, Ogoganeni in Kwangolosi near Hillcrest, Sunnyside in Pietermaritzburg, Sweetwaters in Howick, and God's Golden Acre, New Hanover. Recreational rehabilitation, such as music training and dancing, are encouraged at Kailihle because they play an important role in rebuilding the children's self-esteem. The skills of those who are naturally talented are also enhanced through training, and the arts and crafts they produce are marketed and sold with the aid of volunteers. This creates a valuable cycle of sustained job creation. And for those who are terminally ill, God's Golden Acre provides a place where they can spend their last days surrounded by love. These achievements are the result of 10 years of dedication and perseverance, but it pales in comparison to the ever-increasing needs of the communities.
The impact of the HIV epidemic on these communities is devastating, leaving young children defenseless, vulnerable and starving. God's Golden Acre has a program which can help, and we as a society need to take responsibility. We need to help these children to be able to take their rightful place in society. By helping us, you will be helping them.
By supporting God's Golden Acre, you will be helping to make these projects more effective, empowering the community to become self-sustaining and helping an orphan generation to survive. The emerging needs of the ever-increasing number of orphans will rapidly exceed the present capabilities of existing families, community and government resources. To secure the well-being of these children, we will require innovative responses from all caring people. Assist us in the fight against AIDS. Help in whatever way you can to make a difference in the life of a child. Contributions of any kind will be gratefully accepted. Let us know that you care.